Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, pour me another glass. No, fill it to the brim. You are absolutely not going to believe the level of stupidity I have been living in for the last month. You know how you always say I'm the organized one, the one who has his life together, the one who handles the logistics while everyone else is running around like headless chickens. Yeah, well, revoke that title immediately. Burn it. I am a fraud. I need you to promise me you won't laugh until I finish the whole story. Actually, you can laugh, because if we don't laugh, I am going to curl up into a ball on this rug and cry until I dehydrate. Okay, so take your mind back to 5 years ago. You remember the wedding, right? Obviously you do. You were the best man. You remember the absolute chaos leading up to it. The venue tried to double book us. The caterer had that meltdown about the salmon, and my mother was, well, being my mother. We were drowning, right? But amidst all that madness, remember how Sarah and I were trying to be so mature, so modern power couple. She had her marketing agency, which back then was basically just her and an intern in a parking space. And I was in the process of inheriting my grandparents' property upstate. We sat down, had the hard conversations, drank a lot of wine, and decided a prenup was the smart move. Not because we didn't trust each other, but just to keep the messy stuff separate. Her business is her baby. The cabin is my family legacy. Clean, simple, responsible. We even found this fancy lawyer. We went to his office downtown, leather chairs, mahogany desk, the whole 9 yards. We felt so grown up. We spent hours hashing out the details. Who gets what stays separate, how to handle the debt. We paid the retainer, he drafted everything up, and he sent over the final packet about 2 months before the big day. I remember printing it out, putting sticky notes on it, and leaving it on the kitchen counter for Sarah. I said, "Hey babe, the prenup is printed, give it a read." She said, "Okay, awesome," and that was the last time we spoke about it. So we had the wedding, the bachelor party, the honeymoon in Italy. Life just happened. And then we were married, 5 years of bliss. We bought the house, we got the dog, and here is the kicker: Sarah's business blew up. Like exploded. She went from 2 employees to 20. She's landing national contracts. The valuation of her company now compared to 5 years ago, it's astronomical. And my grandparents' property, the market value has tripled. We are sitting on significant assets. So fast forward to last month. This is where the nightmare begins. Sarah is in the middle of refinancing a massive business loan because she wants to expand again. She's dealing with this major bank, and they are digging through our finances with a fine-tooth comb. They want to know everything. I'm at work just minding my own business when my phone rings. It's Sarah. She sounds tight. You know that voice? That I am trying to remain calm, but I am actually vibrating with stress voice. She goes, "Hey, the bank is asking for a copy of the prenup to clarify which assets are marital and which are sole proprietorship. They need it like yesterday to clear the underwriting." I'm like, "No problem, it's in the filing cabinet in the office." She says, "I'm looking in the filing cabinet, it's not in the legal folder." I'm still calm. I say, "Check the house folder or maybe the safe." She hangs up to go check. 10 minutes later, she calls back. She is tearing the office apart. "It's not here," she says. "Are you sure you filed it?" And then I felt a drop of cold sweat roll down my back, because suddenly I wasn't sure. I had this flashback of the kitchen counter. I remembered printing it. I remembered reading it, but I didn't remember the notary. Silence, dead silence on the other end of the line. I said, "Wait, I thought you grabbed it off the counter. I left it there for you to review. I thought you took it to the lawyer's office to get it notarized and filed because you had that day off before the wedding." She says, extremely slowly, "I thought you were taking it back to the lawyer because you were the one corresponding with him. You printed it. You put the sticky notes on it. I reviewed it, told you it looked good, and put it back in the folder for you to take." Girl. We both just stayed silent on the phone for a full minute. The realization hit us both at the same exact time, like a freight train. I rushed home. I broke the speed limit. I get there, and Sarah is sitting on the floor of our home office surrounded by 5 years of paperwork. Old tax returns, appliance manuals, vet bills. And there, at the bottom of a box labeled "Misc Wedding Stuff," buried under a copy of our seating chart and a dried-out boutonniere, was the folder. The blue legal folder. My hands were shaking when I picked it up. I opened it. There were the sticky notes. There were the clauses we argued about. There was the "Sign Here" tab. And the signature line, blank, completely blank, not a scribble, not a date, nothing. We never signed it. We never notarized it. We never filed it. For 5 years, we have been walking around thinking we had this ironclad legal protection for our separate assets. We have been operating under the assumption that her business was hers and the cabin was mine. But legally, in the eyes of the state, we have absolutely nothing. We are just a standard married couple with commingled assets. I looked at Sarah. She looked at me. But the laughter stopped pretty quick when we called the lawyer. Oh my God, the lawyer. The same guy from 5 years ago. I had to call him and explain that we two grown adults with college degrees ghosted him for half a decade and never executed the document he wrote for us. He tells us, well, the prenup is garbage now. It's useless paper. You're already married. So I ask, can we just sign it now, backdate it? No, he says, you can't sign a prenuptial agreement after the nuptials. You need a post-nuptial agreement. And apparently a post-nup is a whole different beast. Because Sarah's business has grown so much asterisk during the marriage without a prenup, that growth is technically considered a marital asset now. So trying to separate it out retroactively is a legal nightmare. The lawyer said, this is going to be significantly more complicated and significantly more expensive than the first time around. He quoted us a price that made me want to weep. It is literally triple what we paid 5 years ago, and the bank for her loan is freaking out because they don't know who owns what collateral. Sarah has to explain to her underwriters that her husband technically owns half her business because we forgot to sign a piece of paper in 2019. We aren't fighting, thank God. Honestly, we're both too embarrassed to fight. It's a failure of our couple management. But the stress is real. And every time I walk into the office and see that blue folder sitting on the desk, because we kept it out as a reminder of our shame, I die a little inside. So the moral of the story is, never assume your spouse did the thing. Do the thing yourself. Now, seriously, refill this wine. I have a meeting with the lawyer on Tuesday and I need to fortify my liver before he tells me how much the retainer fee is.